feature that's been in Microsoft Word for a while is mail merging. It has some great benefits in allowing you to take a long list of contacts, create letters for them, and send it out. Or you can use it to make mailing labels, go right to envelopes, emailing, all of those kinds of things. It will pull information from Word tables, Excel spreadsheets, directly from Outlook, other databases, and so forth. So there are some very easy things to do to make it happen very quickly. Two of the things that I would encourage you to do before you do a mail merge is, one, create the letter that you want to send, because it often brings out the fields of information that you want to pull from a data source and put it into your letter. Now, if you're doing just, names and addresses, you just need a table of information that lists all of that information. But you may, within your letter, refer to other things like products or events or time, different things that aren't, may not be typically in a table of information that you work with. So you may want to create the letter first to identify any fields that you're going to work with, and then create the information in a table. For example, you may want to create an Excel table like I've done here and break out the header row at the very beginning. So first name, last name, address, city, state, and zip. These are US addresses, so that's the typical layout. I would break out the names first from last. If you do a middle initial, I'd give that a separate column. Just a smart thing to do. You can always bring those two together very simply, but if you ever need to break them out, then they're already separated for you. Okay, so you would want to do something like this in a spreadsheet, and that's what we're going to be pulling from to create our mail merge. Now notice the first row here. This is called a header row, and it defines what the information is below it. It's a good idea to have those in your tables just to clarify what they are and to make sure that they're there as well. So I'm just going to close that. You don't need to have it open for it to interact with it. All right, so we have a Word document, which is our letter, and I want to start the mail merge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Mailings tab, and over here you'll have Start Mail Merge, and I'll drop that down. Obviously you can do letters, but you can also do email messages, envelopes, labels, a directory. And as you're going through this and you start to work with it more and more, you'll find those much easier to work with. But we're going to stick with the letter, give you an idea of how it interacts, and then you can plan how to create many others. We're going to go to the very bottom here, Step-by-Step Mail Merge Wizard. So I'm going to click on that. It opens up on the right, Mail Merge. What type of document are you working on? We're working on letters, but again, there's your other options again. So we have the letter ready to go. I'm going to click Next, Starting Document at the bottom. Select Starting Document. How do you want to set up your letters? Use the current document, which I'm in. Okay. You can start from a template, start from an existing document. That means you're going to go out and you're going to pull it in or open it up. We have it open and ready to go. Just a quick way to do it. And then down at the bottom, click Next, select Recipients. So where are the recipients? Well, use an existing list. That's what we're going to do. You can also select from your Outlook contacts or just type a new list. So you can actually do that. The thing is, though, you'll want to really think it through and just make sure it's all there before you do this, but it's possible. Use an existing list. I want to browse for that. So I'm going to browse to My Documents. That's right. It does go to a folder by default called My Data Sources, but I've put this right inside our Word files. So I'm going to go there, and it's called Copy of Mail Merge List. I'm going to click Open. It was on Sheet 1. Okay, the first row of data does contain column headers. Okay, so here it is. It's ready to go. It's already selected. I'm going to click OK. And as you do this, it says this is the list of recipients that will be used in your merge. Use the options below to add or change your list. Use the check boxes, so it's these right here, to add or remove recipients from the merge. When your list is ready, click OK. So it has everybody here, but you may not want this to go to everybody, and you would just deselect all and then just choose the ones that you want, or click it again, so they're all there, and then just deselect the ones, whichever is faster for you. All right, then we have last name, first name, address, city, state, and zip. Okay. All right, so those are all ready to go. Here's our data source. There it is. It does allow you to go in and edit and refresh that. You can sort, you can filter, you can find duplicates, find a particular recipient. So if you have some very large lists that you're working with, then you have a lot of ways to work with it while you're inside the mail merge. All right, let's click OK. All right, now what's happening is it's choosing the list, it's copying from this file, and we're going to scroll down. Nothing has happened to it yet. Now at the bottom we're going to click on Next, Write Your Letter. All right, so if you've not already done so, write your letter now. Well, we've done that. To add recipient information to your letter, click a location in the document and then click one of the items below. Address block, a greeting line, electronic postage, and then there's even more items. So let's start at the top here. We're already clicked up there. Let's do address block. There we go. And what it's wanting to know, insert the recipient's name in this format. So it's got first and last name, and if there is a junior, a senior, or a middle initial, you can run it like that. Okay. And notice it's bringing them in the order. So I'm going to go back to number 1, Jason Belly. That looks good. You can make it a Mr. or a Mrs. However, we didn't designate that. So that's not going to automatically do that for us. We would have to do that. Now this one, this would be taking the last name and saying the Belly family in this case. Okay. The Hansen family and Moranto family. So it's putting in all this information. Or if we had more than one name in there, you would be able to do that, like husband, wife name, those kinds of things. But see, your table would have to be set up to be able to work with this. Okay, we didn't have Mr. and Mrs. in there, so it doesn't know which one to pull for us. Okay, so we're just going to stay with first and last name for the address block. Okay, so this will be at the bottom. We don't have any company names. Insert postal address, which is this part right here. If I take that off, it's just their name. We want to go ahead and put that up there. Format address according to destination, country, and region. It's US, so it's ready to go. All right, now other things like match fields we'll do in another session, but if you set up your table straight up and direct, and now that you've seen this part right here, you have a clue of how it's going to look at that information. All right, let's click OK. So all it's going to do right now is put the address block in here, and we're going to preview our letter so far. All right, so it has this, and that could be our list. You're looking at how it would drop it in, that information. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to go previous, write your letter, and I'm going to put in another field here for the greeting line. So I know this is going to go down about 3 lines, and then I want a greeting line. Actually, let me bring it down one more there. And our image doesn't move, remember, because it's behind. So I'm going to hit greeting line. And you can choose from dear or to or none. Okay. Now that's the full name. Maybe I just want the first name. And then after that would be a comma or a colon there. All right, but comma is the most. Green line for invalid recipient names. So if there was a problem with the data moving over, maybe there was an empty field, then that would go in there. Or to whom it may concern, or none. Okay. In fact, I would say probably in this one, I'm just going to do none, and we'll just go with that list. Okay. So from the first item, it was Jason. The second one would be James, Dear Jim, Sharon, and so forth. Okay. Again, match fields come up. We'll do that in a different session. Let's click OK. All right. So there's the greeting line. There's the address block, and the rest of the letter is ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead now and do next. Preview your letters down at the bottom. All right, so preview your letters. One of the merged letters is previewed here. To preview another, you just click left, right. There we go. So it's going through each of those. You can find a recipient, so you can actually go search for someone. You can edit the list. You can also just click, hey, exclude this person. I didn't mean to bring them over for this printing. Okay. Now, one of the things I'm noticing, that there's a lot of space here, and I get that it's, making room for the list and so forth, but I'm going to bring this back up. I'm just deleting that space there. And this section right here, there's a lot of paragraph spacing that I may not want, so I right-clicked it. I selected it, right-clicked it, and chose paragraph. Here, I'll do that a little bit slower this time. Selected all that, right-clicked it, and chose paragraph. And it's got an 8-point after. I'm going to make it a 6, and let's just do single spacing and click OK. So it's a little bit closer. It's not so far apart there. There we go. All right, and then I've got Dear Jason. Let me just make sure it doesn't go off the page here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up right there. All right, so that way I have it looking the way that I want it. The font text here, let me go through here, and we'll make that bold like the rest of this letter is. There we go. All right, so all of that is ready to go. It looks nice. Down at the bottom, complete the merge. I'm just going to hit next. All right. Now, at this point, everything is merged, and you can look through your recipients up here. We've been doing over to the right. I've been moving it over here. Find recipient, check for errors, finish and merge. Okay. You can print the documents from here. You can edit individual ones or go ahead and send it as an email message. But if you go to print, all of them, the current one from so-and-so, and I click OK, and then you go into a print wizard or the print dialog box, and it'll allow you to print them. Okay. Now, we had, I believe, like 10 or 11 recipients, so it would print out all 6 of those to be able to work with that. So that's a really quick way to do a mail merge, get it to a results, and then simply, print it right from here.